Hi everyone, welcome to Authentically Me TV. Today's Friday, July 1st, and it's about 2 o'clock is when I normally start cooking. So I thought, why not film? This will be great. So today, what I'm going to make, I'm just playing around with some things today, so I thought I'd share it. Today I'm going to do a entree using tofu. I'm going to make a salsa. I'm going to use, here I have 3 chopped tomatoes. Here I have a red onion, 1 jalapeno pepper, 3 chopped garlic cloves. Here I have 1½ teaspoons of cumin, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of sugar, all mixed together. And I have 2 limes. And that's for my salsa. That's going to be on top of my entree. Here I have my tofu. And what I've done with my tofu today, as you can see, the recipe that I'm going to make, I needed the tofu to be minus any liquid. So what I did with my tofu was I took it in a dry skillet, no oil or anything, no seasoning, and I took all of the, Matthew, you can look down here, cameraman, and I took all of the water, excess water out. I just steamed it till all the water came out. So now it will absorb any seasoning that I have for it. And then on the side with that, I'm going to do Brussels sprouts. I know it doesn't sound that hot, but I tried it, cooked it, and it was a hit. So let's get started. So what I'm going to start with first is the salsa. So I'm going to take my tomatoes in first. Followed by the red onion, garlic, and jalapeno pepper. Remember, there's 3 chopped cloves of garlic, a half of red onion, or you can use Spanish onion, or you can use sweet onion, whatever you like, but a small one. And 1 to 2 jalapenos, but here I just use 1. So I'm going to mix all that in. And now I'm going to add my seasonings. That's 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and 1½ teaspoons of cumin. Stop right there. So I'm just mixing it all together, making sure that it's well mixed up. And I have my 2 limes. And what I normally do with limes or lemon, it's a really cool, well, it's cool to me, but I just like cooking. So I just press down on it so I can make sure I get all the juice moving and out. And you just keep pressing on it until you can smell the lime. And now I can smell it's really strong. And also I have a little bit of the moisture from the skin coming out as well. So this is really cool. And you'll get a lot more flavor in your salsa. So I'm just going to cut that in half. You want 3 tablespoons of lime juice, or less. It just depends on how you want yours to taste. I have a trash can here. All right. I'm going to mix all that together. Dry my hands here. So I love cooking. I know I say that all the time, but I do. I'm one of those people that on Sunday, I don't know if anybody watches PBS, but on the PBS channel station, they normally have all the cooking shows on Sunday. And I just like to watch. Even if it's just background noise, I go in. I have some favorites, but I can watch anybody. I just enjoy it, always have. Now I'm going to season my tofu. I've already put a tablespoon of olive oil in my skillet. So now what I'm going to do is, I found this at the Amish store. It's nutritional Bragg's nutritional yeast flakes, and it's a whole seasoning. Here it says it's vegetarian, gluten-free, salt-free, sugar-free. Yeah, it just has the nutritional yeast flakes in it, so I thought that was a great buy. It was at the Amish store, they had it for $4.99. I thought it was a good buy. It's a little shaker top, so that's really good. So I took a teaspoon of, 2 teaspoons of nutritional yeast, 1 teaspoon of salt, and I'm going to coat my tofu with that. On both sides. Camera guy, you want to come in close for me, please? So you can see. So I'm going to coat all of that. All right. And shake it just like you would if you were making a fried chicken or a fried anything really. You're just going to coat it just like it were breadcrumbs or anything like that. And this is what the salsa looks like as well. While that's cooking, I'm just going to chop up some Brussels sprouts. Now I know you say, Karen, does Brussels sprouts and tofu and salsa go together? Yes, it does. Because you still have to flavor your Brussels sprouts, and they're basically going to take on the flavor that you want. And what I want them to be is kind of crispy. So it adds a nice little crunch to the, when you bite into it. So because your tofu is soft, you don't want to bite into 2 things that are soft. It's kind of mushy. So I just crisp them out with a little salt and pepper, just thrown in with a little olive oil. So a tablespoon of olive oil, probably a teaspoon of salt, and a dash of pepper with that. So I'm going to get started with that as well. So this is your tofu as it's cooking. You just want to brown it nicely on both sides. So now, come on in, baby. This is our finished tofu. And see, it's nice and crispy and golden brown. And it's nice and firm. It's not, and it's held all its seasonings and flavor. And you don't have all the water, so it's not so mushy. Now I'm going to wait for the broccoli to finish, and then I'm going to plate. So here's what our Brussels sprouts look like once they're all crisped up. Now I'm going to plate all of it together. I know you want to get to the food, Matthew, but we're going to. So this is our final product. You can look at it now. Okay. So those are just some ideas that I had for tofu. Like I said, I love to cook. If you have any ideas or whatnot, share them. I enjoy figuring out new things, especially in the summertime, because I have so many wonderful things to work with. And yes, believe it or not, my counter always looks like this, and behind you too is no joke. I always have fresh things on hand. That's how I like to cook. Even today I went out to the Amish store to get more different types of beans and what have you, because they have the best prices. Check out wherever you can, Amish markets, just your regular grocery stores for that nutritional yeast. Anyway, happy cooking, guys. Enjoy cooking for your family. You know, we don't have a day that's promised to us, so enjoy whatever you do. Live and love today and have